gentlemen, it's your boy Cal Testa here. I know you wish I'd rather be doing this review, but here he is, the other guy.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of this new Young Lean record, Warlord. Swedish Internet rap sensation, Young Lean. And this is his second full-length commercial project. His previous efforts, Unknown Memory and Unknown Death, you may or may not already know, wasn't a big fan. These projects had their moments. They were cloudy and intoxicating, kind of alluring, but beyond this really shallow aesthetic, I wasn't finding that much to like. The downsides being the lazy song structures and writing, the lethargic vocals, the vapid lyrics, some really annoying auto-tune as well, and to be honest, I'm not really expecting any big changes on this new record over here. No major revelations or advancements in the sound of Mr. Lean. He has a niche, which he seems to be satisfying with his style, so I don't see any big reason for him to change what he does, really. But he does alter his sound a little on this project, and I did like the teaser track, Hoover, a lot. Here's me praising it. It feels amped. It feels It feels ha! That's how it feels. I'm liking this track. Again, there's not a whole lot to it lyrically and flow-wise, but I think, sure, lyrically this track was not that deep, and Young Lean's music tends to run a little mindless, but as long as he's dishing out some hard bangers and some catchy flows, I could see past some really shallow lyrics. But lo and behold, right from the start of this record, we hear Young Lean's trademark lack of enthusiasm and awkward flow and somewhat thick Swedish accent trying to pronounce all of these English words. However, the sound change comes in the form of the vocals being way more upfront, way less washed out, and reverb, which I guess makes this record a little more intimate. It's a little more personal. It has nothing to hide, in a sense, and the production isn't that bad on a lot of these tracks, too. It's not exactly flashy or imaginative or anything like that, but it's got some trap-style hi-hats, some deep, bassy, resonant kicks, some cloudy, ethereal atmospheres. They're pretty intoxicating. And this vibe continues up to the point where the track list features the song Hoover, although I may like how trippy and just slow-mo a lot of these songs feel. It's just kind of best to not think that hard about the lyrics, especially on the first verse of the song Fantasy. Life is like a drive-through. I guess I could die soon. Whew, that was deep. I could tune out a lot of what Young Lean is saying much of the time. But then there's some distractingly awful features, like Little Flash. Don't know who that guy is, but his appearance on this record doesn't exactly make me want to know. And his feature is only outshined in terms of badness by Blades on the song Hocus Pocus. He sort of just comes in very aggressively with this awful off-key singing that even the auto-tune and distortion that are placed on his voice just could not save. Otherwise, though, this track would be a highlight on the record. Really, with no exception, lyrics on this project read like the random musings of a stoner, which could be cool for a little bit of inspiration, but there are points on this thing where Young Lean sounds very audibly high out of his mind to the point where it affects the quality of his rapping and his delivery, namely on the track Afghanistan, where he's just sounding painfully awkward, or on the track Fire, where he literally has no breath control and can barely stay on tempo. In one breath, I appreciate that Young Lean has sort of done away with a lot of the reverb and has sort of given us a clearer picture of him as a performer, but this clarity hasn't really revealed anything other than flaws and shortcomings. Shortcomings that were kind of obvious beyond the reverb on the previous projects, but now here they're just kind of confirmed, I guess. It's sort of at this point on the album, the song Fire, where I no longer feel like I'm listening to something that's really trippy, really intoxicating, just high, blissful, up in the clouds. It's not this mind-altering experience anymore, and it's just kind of become drivel. There are a few flashes in the pan, like on the refrain of the song Slow Down, which I think lyrically puts very well the bliss and the monotony of Young Lean's routine and I guess druggy routine and the vibe, the aesthetic of this record. But most of the tracks in the latter half of this record are so bad they're funny, like So Hi, I'm a Bird, a flow and a set of lyrics on the song Eye Contact that I'm surprised anyone would put pen to paper to write these. The song Air Force Ones has a catchy hook, but the thing is that this project, much like Young Lean's previous projects, just has a really shallow aesthetic to it that gets really stale really fast. There are several tracks that are decent or even good, and all the other songs just kind of try to hash it out with the same formula with very little variation, and with so little results. This project is about as shallow as internet rap gets right now, I think. And what's the weirdest thing is that from one project to another project to this project, vocally and lyrically, it seems like Young Lean hasn't improved at all. Maybe in this instance, regressed a little bit. He still sounds like an amateur, and now he's several projects deep, but he has no amateur charm. I'm feeling a light to decent 3 on this thing. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You the best, you the best. What should I review next? Hit that like if you like. You hate me because I'm not a big fan of Young Lean, this record. Anyway, Hoover's good. Wake up, it's a nigga, man. Wake up and over the Sunday forever.